See, again, a little bit of, well, however you want to take it, good news, bad news. Sac State Gold smoke their way into the victory. They take split very, very convincingly, Chad. Let me add that. And they're going to be pushing themselves to the advantage here, looking to stay undefeated in maps and moving over into Icebox for the second.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, considering the fact that it was their pick for split, makes a lot of sense that they would be very dominant on it and find success. But man, was that dominant and man, was that successful. Way more than you'd want to be. See if you're on UBC's fan side, hoping that they can make a comeback in map two, because that were looked a little wild. Because not only was it dominant on rounds, but like the way they won rounds was just like they just walked on the site and found kills. It was so decisive and so fast on these rounds that it's gonna be tough for UBC to come back mentally in game two. But sometimes in Valorant, man, you just gotta say like that all good meme, all good, move on,
Good.
GG next map is a new map, new series, almost in the situation, and let's just win the new series 2-0 kind of thing.
Big comeback time. Big regain here for map number 2, Icebox. There's so many rounds too that UBC Rose could have won, but they didn't. And the clutch factor was looking strong for Sac State Gold. So going into this next map, I need to see UBC Rose harness their map pick and really show that they got the ice here on this map. So I want to see them just kind of pull out the stops, show that they can go toe to toe. If Sac State Gold, I'm not counting out UBC at all. If Sac State Gold, though, are going to stay undefeated, I want to see that UBC Rose can go toe to toe and make it a very tough game for them to stay undefeated in.
Seeing the Jet come in, double initiator composition for UBC.
Okay.
I like that a lot. So Sage, Jet, Viper, and Sova in the current meta are basically the staple four for this map. Sage lately, because of that change to the box on B site, Sage was like a requirement for this map almost because of that. You basically couldn't plant B site ever without Sage. But now that the box has been more durable, you can actually get away with planting B site without a Sage by just playing behind that, or just by straight up just clearing the site, of course. So Sage isn't required anymore, but still very strong on this map the way it works out. And
like good
Killjoy,
insurance.
yeah, exactly. Killjoy is like the alternative. You can use that turret to control kitchen still, use that for a swing on B site, things like that as well. So a little bit better for post plant situations and retakes with Killjoy than Sage. So a little bit more versatile. Sage isn't required. It makes sense that Sac State would go with that.
A lot in turn here. A lot on the ropes for UBC Rose as the series is going to be pushed to either map 3 here or it is going to fall for UBC. They're looking for Haven in that next deciding map. But they need to get through Icebox first. What are we working with here in the first round? We're looking at it for UBC on the attack. You got classics, a little bit of light armor, a ghost on your Jet. And on the side of Sac State, this is going to be interesting. Both duelists are going to be rocking some sheriffs here, looking to lay down the law.
I'm looking at Sac State being even stronger in offense as well because of the Reyna. Reynas are just classically better on offense than defense, just the way that the agent works out. So if Sac State Gold finds a lot of success in defense, it's going to be really scary second half for UBC Rose. So Rose really needs to come up big on this first half, especially with how the momentum is gone. Sac State has all of it from the first map.
Nav's gonna land the Gush onto the sky of all players. Ooh, the Nanoswarm almost cleans up Yogi. On the other side of this Cloudburst, they do have an opponent. Nav is gonna be dropped low. No more light armor. 80 HP for the Killjoy. Snowman. Big blinding light. Nav still coming out with a kill. Artana to double down. They're surrounded on all ends. 4 out of the picture. For the side of UBC Rose, Sac State Gold pull out the brakes and stop that attack in turn.
Man, that was looking so good for UBC Roses because they had the aggression, which, by the way, love it. They went straight up in the kitchen, pushed off the defenders trying to hold there. I believe it was Nav the Jet, and they just swung into B side. It was looking pretty open, but they couldn't actually follow through, find frags along the way, and then get control of the site because Sac State Gold, because the frags didn't come through, and UBC Rose kept going into the site and pushed past that controlling positions around Snowman, things like that. It allowed Sac State Gold to get some more angles to work with and find the refrags on the retake that it wasn't even a retake. The planet couldn't even go down.
into round 2. Don't normally see those eco rounds early finding success on Icebox, but I am open for interpretation here out of UBC Rose. They're gonna hit the rotation back to B, and what's gonna be waiting here? It's gonna be a Viper.
Placing swarm grenade.
But a lonesome Viper.
All alone. It has a wall place, but that's for yellow, which is very interesting. It's not cutting off for initial peaks down long. It's there for just stopping people from being able to hold behind yellow for post plant. So this is really a post plant retake kind of wall. Or at least to stall people from getting good angles on the initial take. So very passive, just using the snake bites, using that wall against them because it allows them to buy time. But Charm finds the first kill. She comes up big for the team when she needs to.
There's that combo you're talking about. The Sage Wall, just insurance to get that spike down. The snake bite a little bit off target.
Bot coming back. Recalling my bot.
Looks like they want to swing more information. They have to be careful. The Odin, very damaging. You see that eliminates Maxi off that, and they're gonna line up for this. Looking to push the advantage right through the wall. The lineup, the swap, the retakes, perfect for Sac State Gold. Maybe not flawless, but they walk away with 3 players. Still good enough for a bonus victory, or a bonus setup into the next round.
Yeah, the Indigo was strong. They have the Jet with a friggin' Odin in hand, man. It's kind of ridiculous. But hey, if it's working, it's working, you know? Like, it's up to UBC Rose to like take advantage of that Odin grab and shut it down, basically. Odins, once they start to spray and they're ongoing, it's so tough to deal with it if you're just going out there and standing their ground and trying to shoot back at them. You have to just do a quick jiggle peek and one tap to the head kind of a situation with the rifle. Something that sword is like basically the only way you can win out against it, or just work around it to where they're a little bit slow moving with that in hand. Try to find different angles, things like that.
Deploying drone. Enemy tag.
We're gonna have rifles for UBC Rose because Sac State had majority of their second round buy available. They aren't gonna really boost themselves up, high up into that.
Blinded.
Right now, honestly, they're just looking to do some damage to the economy of UBC and possibly come out with a round win. Charm opens up with an entry kill. Look at this flank. Apathy's gonna be here. You can hear the stomping like elephants right to the hands of the sheriff. They line up. The headshot's not gonna be there. Hummer that shuts down that player and doubles down onto Jet as well. UBC Rose, so far so good.
They're doing a great job so far. This is that bonus round for Sac State Gold, but still, if the UBC Rose can do this flawlessly, their economy is going to be looking really nice going forward. They're going to have to deal with rifles from Sac State Gold in the next round, but at least then their economy is going to be so nice that even if they find some losses in this half, they can still maintain some strength in weaponry. Oh my gosh. The Odin versus Ice Wall. Got like Sexy finding a kill as well, and Maxi is going to open up the side a little bit, make this possible.
Last player standing.
The Odin can deal some damage, but not find enough kills. UBC Rose, they walk away with 3 players into this round. 3 Vandals as well. And an economy good enough to buy up into the next. So Maxi, Hummer, they're able to re-up themselves with a Vandal and a Phantom and full armor. And off of that round win, you're going to see Hummer with a Resurrection now moving on.
And big thing too is on the other side of things, Artada with an operator going to be holding this angle that's a little bit more aggressive, perhaps. They keep going back there and back and forth between those angles. Actually going to take the zip line, go right up to pipes. Interesting. So this is a very aggressive angle. You can tailwind out there. If you fail the shot, do it anyway, just in case we safe. I love that. Might as well play smart. You're forcing the resurrection out, but that's still no armor for the side of Yogi.
They're still pushing into this operator. No, they're going to fall off. The smart play indeed. I mean, Artada, you say, like, if they miss the shot, they have the tailwind, but he's not been missing this shot. And yes, you see this. I mean, Nav should be listening in for the footsteps coming in.
Can't go mid.
He's going to be here. And now 2 players, Artada with the operator and the judge for Nav.
Even if Artada misses, they have the swing there from Nav. No, Artada walks away. Artada swings and flicks and gets the kill anyway.
You gotta hold that. You gotta hold that a little bit. You hold it strong. Spice going down. 4v3. Maxi finds the advantage. All stops are out. Viper Wall, Snake Bites. Silvadar's going to give away the position of the two players in yellow after the illusion discretion. The back spots the first one. Maxi's going to get the advantage, though. 1v3. Mitchell, those were exactly all these players are. The Phantom isn't going to find the kills. That's the big question. The regrowth keeping them alive, and Maxi's just keeping Mitchell on his toes. This would have been something different if you had the Hunter's Fury, but this is looking like a second round for UBC, and Max is going to make it so.
UBC Rose looking so much more comfortable in this map than Split. It makes me wonder, like, what is the good deal with Split? Because they're like a whole different team right now. It's the same roster, but they look so much more coordinated. They're winning gunfights as well, so the micro and macros are just working in favor for UBC Rose, as if it's a completely different matchup. Now they have a lockdown and Empress available for the side of Sack State Gold. We've seen Godlike Sexy bragging out on Split. Might be able to do so here on Reyna, but again, Reyna's do struggle a little bit on defense. Empress might not be enough to come online yet, but we're looking to having more success on offense for this composition anyway. Right now, they can't bleed out enough too many rounds for the side of Sack State Gold. UBC Rose, they're looking on fire. They need to be respected a little bit. Maybe not go with the Odin grab as often.
Fast Sack State Gold are.
The flank.
For this reaction,
Yeah.
the flank already on the tail end of UBC Rose. The reinforcements, the rotations, they're all
of
here.
Rose is cornered.
UBC, they are trapped right now. They need to fight out. Artana's going to drop close. It's going to be Nav. He's only good for 1 kill, and that's the exit provided back to A. So they push over to B. They bait out Sac State's plan, and now they're able to get this exit rotation back over to A to get the spike planted.
It's because it's a safe round for Sack State Gold that we're not able to capitalize better on those kills. Because, man, Nav was in a perfect position. Yeah, I mean, Jet maybe not have died. Artado did get, like, slayed instantly, basically. But Nav the Jet was in a great position to at least get a double and make it a trade overall. But, yeah, UBC Rose looking good in a 4v3 post-plant situation. And they even have the Jet lurking from kitchen.
Yeah, it's going to be Maxi. Godlike Sexy is going to be thrown down. Taps. Yogi's going to line them up. 3 rounds in a row for UBC. And this is a big comeback. I agree. They look a lot more comfortable on Icebox than they did in Split. But this is where they're going to be tested fully. Artada's back onto the operator. You know how UBC plays their rifle rounds. So this is where Sac State are able to really make adjustments to the defensive setup and fight UBC Rose on the forefront with this. Last time we saw Artada with this operator push onto generators and find Yogi, immediately baiting out that res. This time around, he's going to be pushing through mid to look to catch off any lurkers watching for the flank.
There goes Artada pushing out right now. Not finding anything yet with that operator being a little aggressive, but that's what you can do with the Jet. That's exactly why you see Jets with operators more than anything else. Seeker's going underway. It's going to tell them exactly where the 3 members are on site. They won't tell them about the lurks, which could be a big deal later on.
Lurk hasn't really shown itself just yet. Still need to keep care of Godlike Sexy and Mitchell. Emperor's going to be taken care of. Mitchell able to walk away with a kill. Hunter's Fury hunting for some players. Answered back by Mitchell's Hunter's Fury, so he's not able to find any in turn. The flank's going to be rotated back to the forefront. Viper's Pit's going to be dropped. And the advantage right now for UBC Rose. A little bit of damage onto Dirge and a little bit of damage onto Sova. Apathy falls.
No chance.
What? Yogi
Last player
found
standing.
out. Charm's going to make it a 3v1. Mitchell alone in the pit. Decay's going to do so much. It only takes 1 tap to find him, and the hunt through the smoke, it's going to be there. UBC again, another AR round. They keep their streak going.
Honestly, Charm's been impressing me a lot. Where in the last map, even though UBC Rose got kind of dominated in like a 13-1-ish fashion, Charm was playing on Reyna, and like I already said, Reyna struggles mostly on defense, comes on offense. Charm really didn't have an opportunity to really use her agent fully the way that she would want to. Now on using the Viper is more useful on both sides of the field, is on offense, finding herself in a 7-2-1 situation, getting a lot of big kills on these members of Sac State Gold, and is a big part with that utility usage of why they're able to find these wins.
Maxi. Another first blood for UBC Rose. This is another change that we didn't see on Split a whole lot. For the first blood factors, Zaxxay Gold were doing so well at holding their own pace. Turn around on Icebox. They know Apathy's here too, the Trailblazer. Just more information in the arsenal of UBC Rose.
Yeah, Maxi switching over away from the supportive Sage, going on to the more playmaking Jet has been a big pivotal change as well for UBC Rose. So great adaptation going to Icebox, looking so much more favorable. But this driver's wall, the toxic screen goes down.
Over that Sheriff, another one. Oh, don't switch to Sheriffs.
Enemy remaining.
Godlike Sexy looking to lay down the launcher. Shaky shots, and it's going to pay for him. 1v1. Sova versus Sova. Mitchell pushing right into there. Has the Phantom, and he's going to land that headshot. But is there time?
No. He did his job. Seymour, he bought enough time. He made it work out. And UBC Rose going at 5-2. Coming back swinging after a little bit of a tough map one. The mental is set, though. They're good to go. They did the GG next, all good. And they're looking great.
Apathy's in the agency right now. 0-7. Saluting to the fallen comrades.
Yep.
The Viper switch hasn't been there just yet for Apathy, and I will give it to him. He has been really solo playing the B site most of the time in this map, but we have the rotations. We have the changes coming through for SAS8. This time the Viper going to be at A. What are we going to see here? Viper getting great off the rip, but skipping by that element. Play this safely,
Oh my
Dirge!
god.
Apathy pushes a little bit too aggressive, and it's going to be punished.
Why would you go away from the wall there? I'm not sure. Just looking for an aggressive option, but if you get tagged, then there was no reason that Dirge wouldn't take those shots.
Trailblazer. More information. They know Godlike Sexy is going to be in the back line. They can get the spike down right now. They can clear this Reyna out. Good for one, good for two. Godlike Sexy looking to keep the advantage in hand for Zaxxay. 1 kill away from the Empress, if you can find that, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be pushing right into there. Artada makes it a 3v1, all up to Dirge. Just line up for him.
Oh my, that's gross. That's so gross.
They almost lined up for him there. I
They
thought
almost
they did
did.
for a second.
If the Lear wasn't there, I think Dirge would have gotten a double and they could have pushed the person defusing. But the Lear just saved him, forced him off the angle, allowed Nav the Jet to get to that high ground that has an off angle. Dirge wasn't expecting it, and that Odin, it's just that high value of penetration rate. It do so much damage to that corner. Perfect positioning, and it seems like Nav the Jet is very comfortable with this weapon.
So what do we get off that round? I mean, Apathy uses the pit right off the rip. Doesn't work. It's a little bit overexerted through the middle of the map. Some good intuition out of Dirge is able to find the kill, drop the pit, but it did. The ultimate provides enough time for the rotations to reinforce that A site. So
Yeah, and
they're
the
still
biggest-
able to stop the momentum and the streak that UBC Rose were on.
For sure. The biggest thing of that round was Godlike Sexy getting that double kill down from hell. That created so much more space and stopped UBC Rose from controlling all of the site. That stopped the site control from happening, allowed Zaxxay Gold to get onto the site and control from there on. Now UBC Rose, you don't have much to work with as far as ultimate. It's the Blade Storm. You have a resurrection in case somebody falls, but Dirge about to run around this corner. Gets the kill anyway. Charm does the same. Huge picks.
Is tough. Empress has been pulled from Godlike Sexy. The only thing is he's on the opposite plane than his team. So you're going to have to make a quick rotation. Maxi, a chance to live right now. Operator, Artada's not going to miss a second time. 4v3 right now for UBC Rose. Not going to be flawless. Here's the wall that we've been seeing to allow this plan to come through. Blade Storm right above. Artada getting a little bit sneaky. Not able to find that planter. We go even, but we're in the post-plant phase now.
Godlike Sexy got another big pick over towards Dirge, so there's no more big fragging player that we saw from the split side of things. Finds the kill onto Charm as well as been coming up big on this map. Godlike Sexy is just hucking himself up, popping off, and finding all these frags and creating so much space for this team.
I feel like that's where I'm seeing UBC really deny themselves a lot of potential over towards the B site. They get the post plant, they have the wall there, but they're not really taking they don't really have the confidence right now to take those initial fights and
Yeah.
maintain the control of B that they had. So they completely just back up into the behind yellow, into towards where the Altorb is through B long. And it denies them so much control of that plant that you can see Godlike Sexy and Artada, they just push freely up to yellow and hold those one-shot angles.
Yeah, we saw Maxi kind of challenging Artada, but didn't get support from the team at all. Was left in a 1v1, didn't even have a rifle to deal with it or anything, and just got shot down from the operator at long range. And then the utility for the UBC Rose overall wasn't good enough to hold off the operator in those long ranges, so they couldn't just fall off like they did, if that's the case. Now the Jab finding a kill, just holding down in mid, while the rest of the team's trying to find access to A site. But Artada and Godlike Sexy are just not letting them have anything to do with it. Godlike Sexy just stayed on top of screens after getting the first kill. The confidence from Saxon Gold is massive right now as they tie up the game.
I want to call that confidence to pull them back, but that was sloppy from UBC Rose. I mean, they were throwing themselves at Sac State Gold in that round, just completely dry fights. It was an equal assault rifle round, and they've been finding some good wins with those assault rifles. But the only thing is that they completely changed their mentality. They get a little bit of success, and they're
This is
just
gonna be here.
over pushing these sight lines. I need to see them draw back, go back to the slow pushes, bait out the Sac State Gold team because they've been successfully rotating
It's operator hold.
these defenses, but again and again and again, they just get caught off so early by these plays. Another one, Hummer's gonna be off. That's no heals from the Sage.
No resurrection either. That was completely online, but they still have 3 more ultimates to work with. They have to find some way of dealing with this operator. Artada is being unmatched. Godlike Sexy is being unchallenged. These 2 duelists on the side of Sac State Gold are just popping off, and there's nothing that UBC Rose has been doing to stop them.
Another one, a little bit of an exit kill from Mitchell. Actually has the Bucky, you're gonna be hiding, looking for anybody who wants to push through this choke. Sac State Gold, I mean, you don't even need to use any ultimates. You look at this rotation for player number 8. You might be able to get towards this B site, but
Last
it's
player
gonna be
standing.
here. It's Apathy.
Spike down B.
And Apathy finally in a confident, comfortable position to find an early kill on the rotation. I mean, that was
Last round
smooth
before
sailing
the
for
switch.
Apathy to just to wait for the rotation to come out from Yogi.
Yeah. And again, a point I brought up earlier is Sac State Gold, their team composition is going to naturally just do better on offense because of the double duelist situation. One of those duelists being Arena, who's better on offense, and Godlike Sexy is popping off with frags on defense with Arena, which is really scary considering what the second half might be bringing. UBC Rose needs to win this round. They have 4 ultimates to work with. Just blow them all this last round and a half. Make sure you do everything possible to get this round. Send everything, throw everything in the kitchen sink at them, as you need to at least be at a tie score line if you don't have a chance in the second half.
This time around, I want to see. I like this. Okay, Hunter's Fury to open this up. What are you gonna follow this
Big!
up? It's gonna be a Seeker. Seekers are gonna provide the information that 2 players are at least gonna be at the B site. From that one, what do? They take A, they get that spike down. You can set up for post plans. You might not have the Hunter's Fury, but you are gonna have a lot of post plan potential with both the Killjoy, with both the Sky and the Silva to allow this. Viper Spit's gonna be in here, the regrowth to allow them here. They are stuck, but it is gonna provide them a lot of lines of sight to take this on.
Hummer dying, no more resurrection available.
After he finds Maxi too. 3v4.
Out of charging.
Dirge finds Artada. Yogi, a second one. 3 go down, make it a 4th for Dirge. Big hold from UBC Rose right in the midst of that one.
Switching
It's
sides.
got a little bit dicey there, but they get business done.
So they got the 6th round. They got what they needed, at least to have a really good fighting chance going into the next half. But this is when Sac State Gold gets even scarier. We saw how good they are in general from the offensive side on Split. They're so dominant when they could dictate the pace. They could execute their own strategies off the get-go on every single round. So now UBC Rose, they're on the defensive side. They have to deal with a Reyna on offense that was already finding a lot of success on defense. Got like Sexy just been popping off. What can they do to actually stop Sac State Gold's aggression? They're spreading out their utility as far as their information gaining. Their infiltrators, one on A site, one a little bit towards B site. The Sage down mid, did they just drop the wall instantly to stop a mid rotation? Might be the call.
I feel like they need to match them with a little bit of aggression because
Perhaps.
Sac State Gold are just dominating the yards right now. They have so much real estate just to get into A. The reinforcements, luckily, are going to be here. Toxic wall. He's going to be the difference maker in that split. Artana, very bold indeed. Early trade going to come out. Godlike Sexy gets
The
the
lurk from Nav.
overkill. Oh, this lurk is going to be everything. Honestly, they can just go to B. He doesn't even have to peek. He can just wait for the rotation to come out. There you have it. Yogi almost getting the turn and burn, so the trade's going to be there, but that should delay enough time for the spike to get down.
Honestly, the trade's totally fine. They gave them the information saying, yeah, team, you're good. Just rotate the B instantly. That's why they were able to go so fast while checking corners. And the trade, it makes it still a 3v3, but now the lurk's coming out of UBC Rose side.
Racing's going to be tough. You're looking
Hummer
at
has to
flame
make
from
at
Hummer.
least one big kill here. The rest of the team's
One,
not here to support.
two,
You saw him.
maybe anything. Mitchell's going to check it. That's going to call for the cross. Honestly, they just need to pay patiently.
Believe into apathy.
Apathy hasn't really been checked here, so
One
really on the
enemy
front line.
remaining.
Maxi
Hummer won.
takes Apathy in behind Mitchell now, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that was just brilliant from UBC. The fact that Hummer was able to anticipate Apathy into that corner, a big raid into that round win. I think Apathy just thought he had that sold.
Yeah, and a huge step up from both Charm and Maxi as well for the retake from Snowman. Being able to win at least one of those duels, make it a 2 versus 1 on the site, that made the distraction come in where Mitchell had to respect that as well, because that is at the end where the spike was. Had to trust Apathy to win of 1v1, and Hummer just was able to respond properly to that tuck around that corner Apathy had. Good little read there by Hummer overall, and just generally a great job by UBC Rose on their map pick.
Scanning
This
ahead.
round's going to put them in the lead again. Can they convert to 2? That's the big question here out of that. Very decisive push to A now. They're going to get slower just to slow this one down. Hummer, some good early damage there. 2 go down. Charm and Dirge double up onto this one. Artana's going to trade this one out. Tailwind not going to
Spike
be
down
far enough
A.
for Dirge
Last player
to run
standing.
away with that one. Charm's going to find another one. They roll through. Pretty decisive, pretty easy. It's what you expect from the Spectres of the round 2 of the half.
Fairly healthy one as well, which is important. They only lost 1 member, so going into the next round, they're testing the waters a little bit, tempting themselves with an operator buy, but Maxi's going to just go with a rifle instead. Next round, they'll be able to buy up a little bit better and get a full buy up, even if they lose this one. The operator for Maxi actually wouldn't have been a terrible call overall, but it would have destroyed their economy if they do lose this round. So definitely going with a safer play here, even if it still works out for them.
Very aggressive. Maxi actually hiding behind.
I don't think they know about him.
Wall. Are they going to check?
Oh, good check.
They check it. It's very unlucky. Now really, Hummer with the Spectre. Giving away from the alarm bot. They're going to be spraying this one down. 5v2. Very
Standing.
convincing round now for the Rifles of Sac State Gold. We're going to cut this lead down by 1. The healthy round win as well.
Yeah, Sac State Gold looking a lot scarier with rifles in hand, especially those longer angled engagements on B site. SMGs are just not going to cut it in those scenarios. So good job playing to their strengths, good awareness of the situation by Sac State Gold. UBC Rose, though, they are going to be able to buy rifles now because of Maxi's choice of not going to the operator, which would, as we see now, probably not have worked out for the team anyway because of how the rest of the matchups went out. Rifles in hand, they actually can take on those longer range engagements and see if they find a little more success this next round.
Revealing area.
The hit to B. Where Apathy was struggling for Sac State Gold. Looking to flip the angle now.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Charm. Rest of the team's there already, though, to support.
They Char. Hummer, can you dodge the Altrone and find Artana? Sees the cross spray through the wall.
Nice.
Good. Artana's gonna be down for first blood. This is where I need to see Hummer stay alive. But it's gonna be Dirge to fall, so they immediately find this trade. B-side totally doable now that you have this even 4-on-4. And Yogi's forced to play this angle to watch for the rotation in case they fall off.
I love this allocation of players on the field just to watch for the rotation. They know everybody else has been committed to B-side, so if they rotate, they will see them cross in mid. The rest of the team's there on B-side to handle things, especially Hummer, who finds a second kill of the round.
Charm, a second one. Spike gets planted from Mitchell, but he's all alone inside this, trying to
got
dodge,
out.
duck, and weave. And exactly what you find is the lineups for the snake bite.
Last
Only
player
reach there in
standing.
time. It seems like he's just gonna stick it. He does. So, round win for UBC. They put themselves on 9, Chad.
Wow.
And they clean up all the rifles on Sac State Gold.
I'm honestly very impressed with UBC Rose with coming back after a little bit of a rough first game. I have seen plenty of series where the first game of 3 went 13-0 for one team, or 13-1 or 13-2, very dominant, but then the team that lost that first game just rallied up and came back strong, made a reverse sweep happen anyway. So shout outs to UBC Rose for putting up a really good fight, not letting it get them down, keeping their mental fortitude really strong, and finding success on defense, which is a side where I thought Sac State Gold was going to look even stronger.
With the Blade Storm. He actually leading the charge to the lockdown. To sway this hold of UBC Rose. You need to fall off eventually. There's nobody with the ability to destroy this lockdown. So you're going to give up the site, fall off. Now finds Charm on the cheeky little angle that you have. Popping up through that
Slurk
rafter.
from Hummer. Shut down.
Lock in sight.
Hate to see it. 3v5 for the retake. Dirge opens this one up now. You have to push into uncharted territory if you are the defenders here for this retake. Can you clear Artana on the side? Yogi's gonna have a tall task right there in the right click from the knives. Yogi's gonna fall. Artana pushing this aggression for the attackers to take round number 8 for themselves. One step closer to equalizing the scoreline. One step closer to pulling back their lead.
Artana winning that first engagement and then following through for the second as well. It was actually such a massive point for that round for the team, because if Artana fell there, then the map control would have swung very much in favor for UBC Rose as far as retakes go. It would have been really tough for Sac State Gold to actually have good positioning to hold on to things. But Artana winning that out, finding the second on top of that, made it just a complete landslide other way of the coin there for Sac State Gold to win out that round, nearly tying up the game, but still the lead goes to the side of UBC Rose. Going to be a little bit of a tougher round this time than the last to win it out, but they have a Hunter's Fury, they have a Resurrection. We'll see if that can actually make up enough for the fact that they're doing like saves on the weaponry.
Hummer rushes right down mid, gets rid of the turret to watch this one.
Makes your girl down.
Turret again gives Nav his ability to hop on this cheeky angle that you get right on A. Spike's gonna get planted in the middle of everything. They have full sights on that spike, and UBC Rose, you need to just push in here and end this round because they don't have anything in their favor
enemy
right now.
remaining.
Charm's gonna line up for the headshot. Surge finds gun like sexy.
They're dead? I have more tests to run.
Odin does
I-9.
it. There it is. It's the anti-eco works for SIC. They only lose one, so pretty healthy from there. And look at that eco, man. Look at the economy. Their credits are soaring, nearly capping for a couple of those members. So yeah, they just trade things off, keep it low enough to where they don't cap. Full buy up for UBC Rose. A big point here, though, is Maxi for the first time on the defensive side. Even though they've gone 3-3 so far, now we for the first time can see the operator in Maxi's hand on that jet. What can they really do? Setting up on the A site, that's where Sac State Gold's also setting up, because this could be a really massive moment for Maxi.
I used to be a big fan of Sage on this map, but I
That
feel like UBC Rose, if they had a lockdown right now, they would be
pit-
a lot happier. This is interesting.
the pit only did... Huh.
It did nothing. And Maxi falls with the op.
Um,
Right back into your comfortable spot. If you're Nav up top, you might be stunned, but the damage has been done. Godlike Sexy's got your back.
One
Spike's gonna
enemy
get planted.
Spike planted.
And Sac State Gold, I mean, they just walk into the site for free, basically. What can Hummer do here? I mean, really, what can Hummer do? Let's see you just pull some rifles out of these hands. If they're going to walk at you one at a time, it should be some comfortable gunfights. So Hummer is able to find that one on the staircase. Tries to swap to Apathy, but nope. It's going to be double digits for Sac State Gold. Yeah, I'm just stunned off of the fact that Charm placed... Maybe it was a mistake to place the Viper's Pit there, but definitely didn't help.
I've been like sitting here trying to think of like if that was beyond purpose or not, because I haven't seen that before in a tournament setting. That kind of a Viper's Pit being used. It stops the spread of the pit, so just you don't get to have as much range with it. I know Viper's Pit down low up front towards the tube isn't a good call. What might be a good call though is all of UBC Rose going super aggressive on a safe round. They find 2 already.
This is what you like to see.
Love
They're
this.
flooding on in.
Yes!
Is Nap gonna expect this?
Yes!
Line them up. Maxie's gonna put it into the pure advantage now. They just
down.
keep
Attacker
the
spawn.
tumbleweed turning right into the back line now. Looking for that equalizing double-digit score line. They have the spike. They have the numbers. This would be the biggest throw if they push into Apathy right now, but they're not going to. UBC Rose have shown that they know what they need to do in these positions.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll take it. Dirge, though, now a chance. Around the corner, can Apathy find another one to put it into a 1v1? He's just gonna... He knows that this
Yes,
is
time to
not
rotate.
not his round right now, but...
45 seconds.
Will he have time to rotate?
You can cut off the spike, challenge the wide angle. Dirge too good. So you called earlier at the halftime that you want to see that maybe it would be better if UBC Rose goes a little bit aggressive themselves. There it is, and it was wildly successful.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're giving up so much right off the start of these rounds to Sac State Gold. Like,
Yeah.
if they just meet them with aggression, I'm sure that they're not expecting that, and look what we get.
Exactly. And now they're going for a big gamble, stacking over towards mid B side. But Sac State Gold, they're just like, screw it, we're just going to keep running it down A. It's going to work for them.
Why not? It's open right now.
Yogi has a judge too. It's going to be hard to rotate with that in hand. He's going to try to just grab that rifle off the ground perhaps, but he's going to have to deal with the Odin holding it.
Dirge, uncharted right now by the Owltrone. Slipping through the cracks of the armor. Artana almost lines up the headshot, but able to swap over to Dirge. Find that kill. Here's the Viper's Pit. Provided by Apathy. This is what a Viper's Pit looks like. This is what you're supposed to have on site.
Yep. It's looking a little bit better, especially for the post-plant situation they're going to find themselves in. It is a 3 versus 2 as well with that Viper Spit. They do have the healing there from Yogi, so this is possible, but highly unlikely considering the odds.
No blinding light into this. Just some good old-fashioned gunfights in the pit.
Last player
Mitchell's gonna
standing.
spot Yogi, and they know Maxie's there as well, so they're able to collapse on this position. Godlike Sexy sets up for the headshot angle. 11-10. UBC Rose keeping this close, but Sac State Gold have constantly just found their number, keeping the lead in their hands.
Yep. In the lead by 1 for the second time, or third time, I should say, this series. In their lead. Yeah, honestly, it was a big gamble by UBC Rose. I don't really blame him for going for it. Obviously, it's not the safe call, but it's one that has a bigger reward from the higher risk. Just didn't work out that time around. You don't have the best of buys here. They're going for aggression play down mid as well, but here Altana's waiting for it.
See ya.
Charm Yogi is
Spike down
how you
A.
go right now, so it's not the worst thing if you're just able to take these guns out of their hands. So 2 for 1. Artana for 3. Ooh, and Dirge with the recovered Phantom.
Yeah, Hummer's going to rotate, grab that rifle as
Your
well.
duty is not
And the
over.
res a 3v3. This is where things
planted.
get interesting, because you can go recover these rifles now, and you're going to be at equal strength.
Yeah. Hummer, go grab that rifle. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe feeling the sheriff right now. Just looking for those sheriff kills, the one taps. So slow roll is going to be here. A lot of time has been dropped off this spike plant. Hummer!
Got it.
He finds it. The one deke with the sheriff. Here's going to be the wall to cut off the spike. The crossfire is still going to be there. Now Maxi's going to fall. They know where Hummer is. 12 rounds on the board for Sac State Gold, and UBC Rose against the wire now.
Match point.
Now the Jat with that Odin still being a tyrant on the lobby. Match point and series point for Sac State Gold right now. UBC Rose looking so much better on Icebox regardless. So you should feel good that they are able to make a good comeback overall as far as rounds go on a map. But obviously, they're not out yet. They can still win these next 2 rounds. They have a good buy up here. They made a lot of damage to the economy, even though it's still thriving. They still were able to find some success with the eco round there. So with rifles in hand, better up on the buys, perhaps they can make a better decision here. But they went with another gamble. Sac State went away from that run it down A strategy and then finally went B in the moment that UBC Rose stacks A. Again, they're finding themselves unlucky, but luckily for them, Sac State Gold stalls themselves a little bit because of their own lockdown, allowing for the rotation from UBC Rose.
University of British Columbia, they can't catch
Oh
a
my.
break. Maxi! You gotta check your corners, bud. It's just gonna,
And
it's
right in
just
front
gonna
of him.
find that advantage. Headshot
Clean.
for Artana. The Blade Storm clean as a whistle. Spike is down, and it is taking UBC Rose down to 2 players now. Sac State, they want the win, and they want the win now. Charm against the world for the biggest clutch of your career, but Artana's gonna put it in the grave. 13-10 on Icebox, a 2-0 victory in the series, and they're gonna stay undefeated here for Sac State Gold. It was beautiful out there from this team. I mean, even when they had it, I feel like this is where University of British Columbia, they were looking good over there on Icebox, but it just wasn't enough for Sac State.
Yeah, honestly, Charm, Dirge, and Hummer put up a really good fight. The rest of the team of UBC as well, but like, those 2 players really stood out to me a lot that game, doing a lot of work as far as getting frags, making retakes happen, things like that. Good utility usage as well, but honestly, Sac State Gold, especially behind the leadership of, I don't know if that's the IGL or not, but definitely like the fragging leader, like the star player potential of Godlike Sexy. I mean, that name is very ambitious, very confident, and that's exactly what you want out of a duelist on Reyna, just going out there slaying out on Icebox. Got most frags in the lobby. I would say probably the MVP of that map at the very least, and just was seemingly unstoppable so many times on defense as well, making big multi-kill happen to allow the team to rotate through despite picks happening early against them. Things like that, which is that's that rock that the team on Sac State Gold is able to rely on.
Well, you know, University of British Columbia Rose, we were kind of setting up in the pregame of the series that maybe looking for redemption and revenge for their sister team. Not able to find it, but I'm not really kind of upset about it. Like from what I saw in Icebox, like compared to Split, I could definitely see that there are some good building blocks for UBC Rose for the rest of their season. And this is still the start of the NECC season. I mean, yes, this is week number 3, and I mean, sure, standings are becoming a lot more solidified inside this regular season, but I liking that they're able to claw back from a 13-1 loss to a 13-10 loss just like that with the right map pick. I think that you can really utilize this information for future veto bans, maybe not wanting to go to Split right away, or possibly you just look back at that and you can have an idea of how to patch things up for the next time you arrive on Split.
Yeah, I agree. Just gotta look at the VODs, even though it stings a little bit. Look at like maybe not watch the whole map because it can hurt a little bit too much in the mental, but just look at like, a couple rounds. Think of have your coach weed them out for you basically, and then show the players like 1 or 2 rounds of this is what we can do to improve on Split. Do it in bite-sized pieces and be like, okay, we were explored in this way and this way. This is what we can do to change things. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to an aim duel thing or something like that, but there are some strategic things that they could do to improve on for Split, and looking forward to what they can do for that moving forward, because they definitely have been doing stuff like that with Icebox. Clearly seems to be a map that they're not more comfortable with, but of course, still improvements to be seen and something we can see over the next 5 weeks.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed your night. It is a very late night right now on the NECC. It's 2 a.m. on the East Coast, and I'm sure that Chad Lantis and I, we want to go to bed very soon, get a good night rest, and I'm sure you do too if you are in these late night gamer hours for yourself. It's quite the night here on NECC Valorant for this week number 3. Earlier in our match number 3, it went the distance to that map 3 split. It was a very quick one, 13-7 for that blue gold C to kind of take the win over there. And here in our match number 4, it was a swift 2-0 for the likes of Sac State Gold on Icebox. They're able to clean it up 13-10 and punch the ticket to continue their undefeated spree here in the NECC Valorant tournament. We're going to have more Valorant coming up for the NECC next week, but for now, I can't wait to see you guys in the future. Have a fantastic night, everyone.
Have a good night.